So here we are, outside my old school. North of Bolton, Lancashire's hill country. And I thought today just have a little bike ride. I said to go and get some fuel, but also I thought I'd mention about this area in general, which is steeped in, well, it's the Civil War, the part of Britain's history we don't like to talk about, but it does make fascinating history. So this area north of Bolton, being, he's looking the wrong way, looked the right way at the last minute, is very, very steeped in Civil War history. So in 1644 we have the massacre of Bolton, which was Prince Rupert of the Rhine and James Stanley, the 7th Earl of Derby, who attacked Bolton and retook it from the parliamentarians, the Roundheads. Bolton at the time was commanded by Colonel Rigby. So going back to the Civil War periods, rural Bolton was largely royalist. King William, lots of pubs named after kings, and the squabbles were between the Roundheads, the parliamentarians who had mostly got the towns, and the rural people, the landowners, the gentry, were royalist. I'll just take a left here and show you a royalist house, Turn Tower. So if you cast back to 1644 and focus on that particular date because it has significance, this would be a royalist house. And now it's a rather splendid tea room where we can have our tea and stickies. It's a shame that they're actually doing it up at the moment, so you can't see much of it for the scaffolding, but it is a fantastic place to visit. Also give you a little bit of folklore about this place. Inside it, or in the basement stored away, are two skulls which are placed on a Bible, and if those two skulls are separated from the Bible, all heck breaks loose and you get poltergeist activity. I've actually got a family member, my grandfather, God rest his soul, who actually witnessed this. He saw the farmhouse that these skulls were found, dug up, and he saw the poltergeist activity occurring when these skulls were separated. Anyway, subsequently they were brought up to here and interred, if you like, onto the Bible, and peace is restored. So there we have a royal house. Anyway, going back to the English Civil War, so 1644 we have Colonel Rigby holding Bolton with 4,000 troops, and he was attacked by Prince Rupert of the Rhine and James Stanley, the 7th Earl of Derby, who had had 6,000 foot soldiers and 2,000 cavalry. Now at the time it was traditional to parley before a battle. Prince Rupert in 1644, the massacre of Bolton, did not parley. It was night time, it was raining heavily, and he simply sent his troops in to the town. So there was no chance to discuss terms of surrender. He didn't give Colonel Rigby a chance to surrender. So what happened, as you can imagine, dark and raining, confusion. The royalist troops went in and they were given free rein, not just to kill the parliamentarians but to sack the town, which they did. And 1,600 didn't look right, did he? And 1,600 Boltonians were massacred quite brutally. So then Colonel Rigby fled and Bolton became royalist. So in sometime later in 1651, James Stanley, the 7th Earl of Derby, was captured, and he was interred in Chester. He appealed for clemency, and actually Oliver Cromwell wanted clemency for him, as basically James Stanley wasn't a bad man. He was a soldier, but he was gentry, he was royalist, he was basically, reports have it that he preferred just country pursuits, he wasn't a warrior. Anyway, clemency was denied and the death sentence was passed, and he escaped from Chester. He got away, probably bribed some guards, but he was recaptured and he was brought to Bolton. Now the Old Man and Scythe pub in Bolton, which is the oldest pub in the area and one of the 10th oldest in the country, dates from 1251, but it was probably built early. James Stanley was held there whilst the gallows were erected outside, right outside. In fact, if you go into Bolton Town Centre, go to the Old Man and Scythe on Churchgate, you will see a monument, and it's all inscripted on there. So we're now in Edgeworth and we're heading towards Affetside, which is an extremely interesting place, because I'm going to give you a little bit more folklore. Going back to the execution of James Stanley, nobody wanted to do it. He was going to be beheaded because they didn't want to hang him for some reason. They chose to behead him. So they got the beheading platform there, and nobody wanted to do it. So a man stepped forward called Hewell. He was a farmer. His family lived in Bolton in 1644. And his family were butchered by Prince Rupert and 7th Earl of Derby, James Stanley. So he got a grudge, and he said, well, I'll do it. Anyway, back to Mr. Hewell and James Stanley, the 7th Earl of Derby. So James Hewell carried out the execution of the 7th Earl of Derby, and his skull is now above the bar in the pub in Affetside, the pub of which is here on the left. The Pack Horse Inn Now if that skull that's above the bar is removed from its perch, it's not on a Bible, it's just on a shelf. If it's removed from above the bar, then wailing is heard and all heck breaks loose. So Mr. Hewell obviously likes to be where the beer is, where the ale is. Who can blame him? It's good ale. Anyway, that's a little tale of the execution of the 7th Earl of Derby, James Stanley. But it's worth looking up, worth researching, because it's fascinating English history and well worth a read, because it's, at the end of the day, it's what we are, it's our heritage. Thanks guys, thanks for watching, safe riding, see you again soon.